Just how good is Enzo Le Fee? Welcome back to Where Mackems Walk. Lots to get through on this double episode. How you're doing? Got Dylan, Jamie, Charlie, and Sean fresh back from the Stadium in Light, having watched Sunderland come back for the first time ever in the Premier League. From 2-0 down to win 3-2. And of course, it's the last home game before you know who comes along in our next home game. We'll talk more about that in a second. Yes, Dean says Enzo Le Fee should never be slung out on the left wing ever again. Carter says he's one of the most technical players I've ever seen play for him. Do you agree with both of those statements? We'll get our panel's view on all that in a second. Plus, we're looking at the Christmas fixtures for the Black Cats. Just how good do they look on paper? We're also manifesting the FA Cup third round draw, and we've been doing our A to Z of Sunderland heroes. Who gets in for the letter H this week? You'll have your opinions. Let's see if they match up with our panels. Right then. Oh, Dylan, where was your head at when you went 2-0 down to Bournemouth? And did you think for a second that you'd pull that one back, honestly?
Right. If the people who are sitting at the match were here right now, they will be able to vouch for us. When I went 2 down, I turned around and I said, we've got to win this 3-2. And I got asked by the lad behind us how many pints I'd had up until that point, but I'd only had about 3. It's just one of them. We never know when we're beaten at home, and the fashion of the 2 goals, we gifted it to them, really. And at home this season, I never don't believe in us. So as much as I was slightly tongue-in-cheek when I said it, I did call it. So I'll chalk that up as a win for me.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Jamie, it's apparently on record. I mean, you might have known this before the game, but you've never come down. You've never come back from 2-0 down in the Premier League to win a game. Did you know that before the game? And did that surprise you as an older fan?
I didn't know it, to be honest. I'll be lying if I said I did. And I couldn't think of any that would spring to mind. So yeah, it wasn't a surprise when I learned it, because, like I said, there was no memories of anything like that happening before.
Let's talk about Enzo Le Fee then, Jamie. Just while staying with you, I mean, you've seen the tweets at the start there about never putting him on the left wing again. Do you agree?
Absolutely. His traits as a footballer aren't suited to being a left winger. He's done a job out there for us. He's been okay in most games. He's been anonymous in some. But he's always got that ability in the middle of the pitch to find that moment, that pass, that kind of opportunity that we need. And I think, if anything, this season we've missed somebody in that area of the pitch. Just with our style we've played, we've had a bit of a kind of a problem connecting with our striker, and I think we've had the answer sitting there the whole time, to be totally honest with Enzo.
Yeah, Charlie, do you agree? I mean, we've spoken about this in the past, trying him in the middle, but it's never happened. How impressive was he?
Yeah, I thought he was excellent. He was given a bit more freedom as well, playing in the middle. He was allowed to kind of roam a bit, which I think he likes. And off the back of, I thought he was particularly poor against Fulham, so to bounce back like he did was just brilliant. I thought he was really, really good. It was kind of the player that would, obviously he's been good for us, so I'm not thinking it's like trying to suggest being bad, but it was the player that we thought we were signing. Like, we finally really got to see it against a quality team. It was really good to see him kind of honest.
If you just come across the channel, by the way, we look at social media takes from Sunderland fans all across the country, of the good and the bad takes from the game. So you're very welcome. Do drop us a quick sub if you haven't yet done so. Sean, here's one for you to get your teeth into. Regis Labrie is back again. I love this account, by the way. I mean, it's not obviously Regis, but he has some great takes. A great comeback. Unlucky to be 2-0 down from a slip and then a stupid short corner. Please can we stop doing them for F's sake? Team section was spot on, subs were great, and overall just a great fight and superb atmosphere generated by the crowd in horrendous conditions, still in the title race. Do you agree about were you unlucky to be 2-0 down?
Yeah, like, if you look at the scoreline, you would think that like Bournemouth were like battering us the first 20 minutes, but there wasn't really like a 2-0 start, really. Like, obviously it was 2 mistakes. Obviously the first one slipped, and then Talby's misplaced pass, and then an unbelievable strike. But yeah, the crowd. I mean, I wasn't in the crowd. I was actually in the press box, so it was hard for me to not celebrate and stuff. But I felt so different being up there. But yeah, the crowd definitely helped. And yeah, the subs. I want to say Mundo when he came on. So direct, I think he'll definitely suit the Prem. Trey Hume done well as well, and obviously Brian Brobby scored. So yeah, I think the subs changed the game as well.
Yeah. Are you not allowed to celebrate in the press box, Sean?
No, realised that. Yeah.
Does someone sit you down if you make too much noise? Like literally. Yeah.
Well, at the start, I wasn't even allowed to clap the players coming on or anything. Had to remain neutral, and so yeah, that was hard.
What happens when you get to heights of journalism fame? Okay. Dylan, here's another stat that was interesting this weekend. BBC Sport revealed, last time in the Prem, 14 points at home all season, and now already 15 picked up in just 7 home games. Yeah. Can we talk about Europe yet, Dylan, or not?
I think it's all about taking each game as it comes, but the momentum hasn't dropped off yet. The January transfer window is right around the corner. We supposedly have big ambitions for said transfer window. When I was in the pub yesterday and I was about 10 pints deep, I said we're getting Europe, so I'd be hypocritical if I said that I wasn't thinking about it. But yeah, it's one of them now where we're going to stay up. If you finish 17th on goal difference or you finish 10th, it makes no odds. So that's the next thing to shoot for now. So I don't see why we shouldn't be thinking about it. And if it comes, it's a massive bonus. And if it doesn't, we're still in the Premier League next season.
Yeah. We're all going to be Sunderland fans on Wednesday night, Jamie. The whole country's going to be Sunderland fans when you take on that horrible lot. And then, City, of course, at the weekend as well. Do you hold up much hope? I mean, I think you can do them, personally.
I think that fear factor has disappeared. I think that concern at the start of the season, saying there were days where we get humped 5 or 6. We aren't probably that might happen, but we aren't expecting that anymore. The expectations have changed. Liverpool got 3 today. We saw that, but they're there to go and attack. And I think, like you say, we've got the points on the board. I would be disappointed if we went there and just sat back and defended. If we lose, we lose. But I'd rather go there and lose and have a go at the vulnerable back four than just sit back and be kind of a defence versus attack fixture for the 90 minutes.
Just imagine, Sean, if this week you come away from Anfield and the Etihad with 6 points. I mean, I think even the hardened Sunderland fan would start believing, wouldn't they then?
Oh, yeah, definitely. If that happens, we can do anything.
But it's mad that even we're talking about it, and it's not impossible, is it? Given how you've played. I mean, I know you were poor at Fulham, but given that the way you play and the resilience this team have, especially against the better sides, you've played your better football, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I think, obviously, look at Chelsea, Chelsea away. I think we can beat anyone, on our day. And everyone gives 110% for us. That's the difference, I think, for, the other teams.
Okay. Charlie, I've said this last tweet for you because you've been getting a bit of stick on this channel from some fans. For calling out one player in particular. So let's see if you give me a bit of credit. Yeah, Ahmad Macken says, Ronaldo is a pain in the arse, but he's our pain in the arse. Absolutely love him. Do you love him now, Charlie? Are you willing to apologise a little bit or not?
Okay, he was absolutely brilliant yesterday. I'll give him if I'm going to give him his stick, and like you say, we've had some comments calling me out about him. I thought he was absolutely brilliant yesterday. He was just exactly what you'd want from an experienced fullback. He did everything he needed to do. He kept the right side quiet because he had to, because the left side with Semenyo was absolutely tearing us apart at times. But he's just a top quality player. He was brilliant. We all were, to be fair, but he did have a very, very, very good game. And he is also a bit of a worky ticket, which I do like. I'm not worried about that.
There we go. They are. You can have that in the comments. So Charlie does give praise to Ronaldo at times. Right, wonderful. Right then, let's look at these Christmas fixtures then, Dylan. I mean, first of all, no Boxing Day fixtures. I mean, lots of criticism for the Premier League for this. Are you having that? It's just football's gone, isn't it? With no fixture on Boxing Day.
The game is well and truly gone. I need a match to be watching while I'm recovering from eating disgusting amounts of goodness the day before, and I've never been so outraged in my life. However, with the sort of fixtures that we have, maybe it's good to not have one of these to come and ruin the Christmas period. But to be fair, there's some very winnable games in there. There's obviously the odd ones you anticipate we're probably going to lose, which will be the 2 against City. But as we've already just said, Liverpool are there to be got at, especially how prone they are on the counter and how good we can be on the counter. I'm not ruling out getting something from that game. Obviously, we've got the big one the week after against them lot, which again I'm confident for. And then sort of the likes of Brighton, you expect us to go toe to toe with the same way we did Bournemouth and Leeds. I'd like to think that we can get one over on Leeds. And with the way that their fans went on at the start of the season, as if they were so far ahead of us in terms of how they were going to fight to stay up, I would really love to go and absolutely batter them in a few weeks' time.
We'll be 24 points ahead of them by then.
You could be, couldn't you? Yeah, and both Burnley and Leeds fans, and we've just been talking to Burnley fans now, talking about sacking Parker and Farker, respectively. Which just shows again, doesn't it, how far you've come from them. Jamie, does it feel weird that the next time you'll be walking into stadium like then will be against that lot? Does it already feel like a bit of excitement looking at how they're doing? I know they won at the weekend, but I've got to say, even as I watched them, I didn't think they were that good. I know they won 4-1, but I still think with our shooting bits on, we could have given them a better game.
Yeah, we all know that they've got talent in their team. We know that would be lying if we said they didn't, but we've got talent in ours now as well, which they didn't expect us to have when we first came in this league. We've got match winners, we've got physical presence, we've got Granit Xhaka, who's been in these sort of games for the last 10, 12, whatever years. And we've got the home record and the fans behind us, so there were not many of those Geordies coming to the stadium light on the 14th as confident as they would have been weeks and months ago. They'd be lying if they said they were. Absolutely. So yeah, I'm confident. I think it could go either way. To be honest, but we've got a damn good chance to get something.
Yeah, and Charlie, the last time this one was played was in the cup, wasn't it? A couple of seasons ago with Michael. Well, not for that long ago, was it? With Michael Beale was in charge, and everyone was excited. And then you put in the most inept performance on that day, and I think everyone was just so disappointed. It's going to be very different this time round.
I'd hope so. Like, if it's not any different, I'd be very, very disappointed because they're not much better than they were then. If they're even better is another matter. I think they've actually stalled for the last 3 years, but they're still a good side. And we've obviously, I mean, compared to that team that season, are just absolutely levels above that side. So you'd like to think they wouldn't just, not get out of first gear and hunt us 3 out. But I think I'll be a bag of nerves on that day, is what I'll say. Because, anything could happen. So.
Yeah. We'll look forward to it already in a couple of weeks' time. Sean, you might not care about the FA Cup, but the draw is taking place next week for the third round of it. I mean, do you look at it with some little bit of disdain now, going, I don't really care who we get and knock us out in the third round if you want, and it's all about the league at the moment. Who would you want if you do care?
I do like the FA Cup, ideally play a lower team just so some of the B team can play. Get some minutes in the legs and that. But ideally not a championship. I'm definitely not a Prem team. Definitely not. League One team or something, or championship at a push maybe. But yeah, Gateshead, if they beat Walsall, I'd like to play Gateshead. Yeah, I'm not too bothered just as long as I'd play. Obviously, if we get Newcastle or something like that, wouldn't be ideal, but just somewhere our B team can have minutes. Yeah.
Okay. Dylan, you could be outsiders for the cup if you could go on a good run. Is this a chance, do you think, for get some silverware?
Well, I mean, I'd like to hope this is going to be a different season, but when we talk about our opening games in the FA Cup over the past few years have never particularly gone very well, so let's focus on getting through the first few rounds, because no matter how far we've come, I still wouldn't rule us out getting done by Mansfield or something in our first round, because we love to drop a stinker in the FA Cup. But it's one of those things with the more secure our league position comes. At the start of the season, I said I didn't care about either of the cups, and I would happily get knocked out the first round of both to accommodate securing our spot in the Premier League, but we're going to stay up comfortably, so now maybe that is something we look at a bit. But yeah, get through the first few rounds and then that's you can sort of start daring a dream. But I would still maybe priority just finishing as high in the league as possible.
Okay, Jamie.
I can't remember the last time we won a cup game. So like Dylan says, we're liable to get beat off anybody on the day. I think it's hard when you chuck fringe players in just for a one-off game to get the tempo. I can't imagine there being a big crowd if it's a lower league team, and it's a banana skin. It's a banana skin we should overcome, but it's one we fell on our face a couple of times now for the last couple of seasons.
Okay,
but I'm not too fussed about a couple of them. It'll be nice, but not a priority.
Yeah, Charlie?
I quite fancy a cup run, to be honest with you. I normally don't really care, but I quite fancy it. I've got a personal vendetta against Shrewsbury Town because I went and watched them beat Shields in the first round, so I'd quite like to get them. Just like to see us beat John Marquis. Still don't forgive him for missing that penalty against Charlton in the playoffs. So that'll be quite nice. But yeah, for once, since we are looking pretty stable in the league, I'd quite like to see us have a little crack at a cup run. Since we never do. I actually think Shrewsbury the last team I remember was beaten in any cup 3 years ago, I think, 4 years ago. Something like that.
There we are. We're manifesting Sunderland versus Shrewsbury Town in the FA third round draw next weekend. Cheers for that. Finally then, this week, if you've not been following us, we've been doing the A to Z of Sunderland heroes and Sunderland events that should go in an encyclopedia. One person or one event per letter. We're up to letter H to finish off with this week. Open discussion. Anyone got any good ones for H, apart from Away the Lads?
Jordan Henderson.
Yeah,
I think we're very, very proud of our academy and the players have produced. And when you talk about what our academy prospects have gone on and achieved in the game, Jordan Henderson is the epitome of all that. He's won the Champions League, he's the captain of Liverpool, he's won the Premier League. People talk about Steven Gerrard as one of the best Premier League captains of all time, and Jordan Henderson achieved more than Steven Gerrard, got that Premier League, so I think he's got to go in there.
Yeah, it was asterisk that Premier League title though. Let's have it right. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, had a big asterisk on it.
I think the only other shout there's like Charlie Hurley, surely. Everybody always talks about, not that I've seen him play obviously, but everybody always talks about him. And I think I'm right in saying we had the training ground named after him.
Yeah,
originally, I might be wrong.
That was the Charlie Hurley Centre in Woodburn.
Yeah.
I think he got both Player of the Century that we had. So he's a shout, to be fair. But a more modern day fan would say Henderson. If you had a
I would personally say Henderson, but
I would say Charlie Hurley.
Yeah. Any others?
I want to say it's not great. It's not player or anything, but Hummel. I feel like over the last few years, I think everyone in the stadium wears Hummel. Obviously, I'm wearing the jacket right now. I've actually been collecting Hummel tops just from different teams, and I just love Hummel and I feel like obviously since we've got Hummel promotion and now might get European football with Hummel. So yeah, I think it's been shows like positive with Sunderland really.
Okay. We're not sponsored by Hummel. I've got to make that really clear. We're making no monetary value by Sean is not being paid to say that. But yeah. Any others? Are we all done? Okay. Jordan Henderson is then into letter H. Now, they do need your help next week because they come across their first tricky letter in the letter I, of course. So join us for that next week. Put in the comments as well, and we'll read some of these out next week. And we read all your comments as well. I know other podcasts just ask you to comment and don't read them, but we actually do read them. And we do like the ones as well. So please let us know your thoughts on anything that's been said as well. Lefay on the left wing, never again. Do you agree with all that? Let us know who you want in the FA Cup and who else have we missed for letter H. Brilliant to see you guys. Thank you very much for turning up this week. Really appreciate it that you're back. And we'll see you for the hopefully 3 points at Anfield on Wednesday night when the whole country will be putting a Sunderland top on. I know I will. Good luck. We'll see you in 7 days' time.